In a neglected corner of a rundown neighborhood in Hong Kong, there stood an old mansion, shrouded in mystery and decay. Locals whispered about its haunted reputation, a place avoided at all costs. Its long, dimly lit hallway seemed to stretch endlessly, instilling an unnatural sense of dread in anyone who dared to enter. 10 years ago, two young children, an 8-year-old boy and his 7-year-old sister, vanished without a trace near the neighborhood. They were last seen riding their bicycles by the void deck, their laughter echoing faintly. After their disappearance, a chilling rumor began to circulate. An eerie voice could be heard emanating from the hallway of the mansion. No one could explain its source, and those who heard it fled before uncovering its secrets. Despite its sinister reputation, the mansion's allure proved irresistible to a group of secondary school students. Elvis, Wallace, Frank, Sheila, and Erica were working on a school project that required them to explore the old estate. Intrigue and youthful bravery led them to the mansion's front door, which creaked open under Frank's hesitant push. Inside, the hallway loomed before them like the maw of a great beast. Darkness consumed the air, and an oppressive silence settled over the group. Yet, driven by curiosity, they ventured inside. Elvis switched on his torchlight, its beam slicing through the murky gloom. The students moved cautiously, their footsteps echoing on the cracked wooden floorboards. As they advanced, the atmosphere grew heavier, the air dense with a foreboding presence. A shiver ran down Erica's spine, and Sheila gripped her arm tightly. Suddenly, a faint, melancholic voice pierced the silence, sending a collective chill through the group. They froze in place, their eyes darting around in search of the source. "Did anyone hear that?" Frank whispered, his voice trembling. "Yes," Sheila replied, her face pale. "It's unsettling," Wallace called out. "Hello? Is someone here?" His voice echoed back to him, unanswered. "Maybe it's just a prank," Frank suggested, though his unease was evident. "No," Elvis said firmly. "No one lives here anymore, not since those kids disappeared." The voice came again, louder this time, its mournful tone resonating through the hallway. It seemed to beckon them deeper into the mansion. Fear clawed at their instincts, urging them to run, but curiosity chained them in place. Determined to uncover the truth, they pressed on. The torchlight flickered as they walked, casting long, distorted shadows on the walls. Each creak of the floorboards sounded like a scream in the silence. As they reached the end of the hallway, the voice grew louder, almost tangible in its sorrow. It led them to a barrel, half hidden in a corner. Elvis stepped forward, his hand trembling as he lifted the lid. A foul stench wafted out, and the students recoiled in horror. Inside the barrel, partially buried in soil, lay two small skeletons. The sight was ghastly, their tiny forms unmistakable. Frank and Wallace staggered back, covering their mouths, while Sheila and Erica clung to each other, tears streaming down their faces. Elvis noticed something beneath the barrel, a pen, seemingly out of place. Driven by a mix of fear and curiosity, he picked it up and pressed a button on its side. A recording crackled to life, the sound distorted but discernible. Voices, low and conspiratorial, filled the air. The conversation was chilling, hinting at dark deeds and the concealment of a terrible secret. "Bad. We need to call the police," Elvis said, his voice firm despite the tremor in his hands. The others nodded, too shaken to argue. Elvis dialed emergency services, recounting their findings in a rushed but coherent manner. Within minutes, the mansion was swarming with officers and forensic teams. The students watched from a distance as the investigators unearthed the skeletons and examined the pen. The following days unraveled the truth behind the sinister mystery. The skeletons were identified as the missing children, their lives cruelly snuffed out a decade ago. The pen, a hidden recorder, held a damning confession. It revealed a chilling plot by individuals who had used the mansion as a hideout for their crimes, silencing the children who had accidentally stumbled upon their activities. Though the culprits were eventually brought to justice, the mansion's dark legacy remained. The eerie voice, it seemed, had been a manifestation of the children's restless spirits, trapped and yearning for discovery. The students, forever marked by their harrowing experience, avoided the mansion on quiet nights. Some swore they could still hear the sorrowful whispers emanating from its depths, a haunting reminder of the lives lost within its walls.
Love what you see? Then subscribe us and hit the bell icon to keep up to date, and make sure you like the video. If you have a real horror story that you want to share, please email it to us. Our email is as follows: official@gmail.com.